All my life Satan tried to get me. Walking my shoes, devil trying to fit me. But he don't know I got the power fit me. Nah, he don't know I got that power. All my life Satan tried to get me. Walking my shoes, devil trying to fit me. But he don't know I got the power fit me. Nah, he don't know I walk the power fit me. Let me have a seat.
Good evening, it's your man H-Rap coming at you live and direct. It is Tuesday. This is In the Bench Media. I am H-Rap B. This is Build and Destroy, where I attempt to build up the community and destroy the lies and the propaganda that surround our community. It's going to be an interesting show today. Actually, it's not going to be as long as it normally is, unless I start blabbering and over talking, but it looks like it's going to be a short show, because I don't have a whole lot to say. I'm going to get right to the point. But thank you for tuning in. It is a wonderful time to see you. It is an awesome time to come together and discuss these issues that surround our community. Again, this is Build and Destroy. I am H-Rap B. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that thumbs up, share, tell a friend, subscribe. I need you to subscribe. If you're on the Facebook group, do the same. And I am currently, as I forgot to do, I'm going to put it live, put this live stream on what is called Fanbase. Fanbase is a social media platform created by Isaac Hayes III. That is the late, great Isaac Hayes' son, not his grandson. Isaac Hayes III is the son of Isaac Hayes. And it is on his platform. It is streaming live. Please check us out. It is important that we support our own. People, you've been hearing all week about people saying that they're not getting their just due. This is an opportunity for us to get our just due. You have people like Luther Campbell coming out saying the reason Sean Combs is in trouble is because it's a conglomerate that he pissed off, and now they're reaching out because they have political people. I don't know what the truth is. You don't know what the truth is. We'll never know what the truth is. But if we're going to make these complaints, how about this? How about supporting the Bench Media? How about supporting other Black opportunities like Fanbase and things of that nature? And then we don't have to complain or beg or ask for anything. We could do our own thing. With that being said, welcome aboard. I need you to subscribe. Now, this is going to be an interesting episode. Dark Before the Dawn. Dark Before the Dawn is the name of the program or the name of the episode. It is dark in this world right now. You got several wars. You got the Ukrainian war. You got the Gaza Strip war. You got wars going on in Africa. You got a war that nobody's even talking about that's going on in Haiti with cars being exploded. It is alleged that the CIA played a major role in the execution of their previous president, the previous leader of that country, and nobody's even covering that. Shout out to Joy-Ann Reid, awesome person on MSNBC. She's spreading the truth. Awesome person like Aaron Hunter, Larry Daniel Favors, Clay Kane, and other people that I keep my ear to the ground so they can keep me informed. So the people that support me, I can get you information as well. Thank you to all of the above, and I always shout them out at the end of the program. Now, why did I name this the Darkness Before the Dawn? Well, Darkness Before the Dawn is basically a symbol of an uprising, a come up, or a struggle, end of a struggle, the end of a struggle. What is the struggle? The struggle is for Black people to live in the United States of America at this point. We are living behind enemy lines. A lot of people think I'm hyperbolic when I say that. People say, oh, you're a little over the top. H-Rap, come on, man. There's a lot of good people in this world. But you know what? There are tons. There are millions upon millions upon millions. There are 6 billion people on the planet Earth today. 6 billion people on the planet Earth. And I will argue that all but like 1 billion of them are good. I mean, I'm going to tell you that. I'm not even going to act like, I would say maybe 300 or 400 million of them are bad. But when you have a loud minority, the majority presumes as if they are correct or that it's the way. I understand personally, from my point of view, we are not living in good times here. We're not living in the best times in the United States of America as Black people. That's people who get up and work every day, whether you're the Black man and woman, the red man and woman, the yellow man and woman, the brown man and woman, the Asian man, the European man, the African man, the South American man, Central American, Caribbean, or the Canadian man. Wherever you live, The people who are on the top of the hill, they're treating the people who are on the bottom of the hill like trash. And if you're not a multimillionaire, trust me, trust and believe, the middle class has dissipated. They are trying to do away with the middle class, so the middle class is hurting as well. What we used to call the middle class is they're about to disappear. But as you look at these things, we must realize that we're on, look, it's a teetering situation. You are at a point, at a crossroad, where either things can go real bad, or we can set the stage for things. We can create the foundation today. Today. This year is an election. It is paramount. I know you hear that every election year. And like I said 2 weeks ago, there's no such thing as a non-important election. You need to have the person who the dog catcher is. Whoever the dog catcher in your town, you need to vote for him and make sure that person is a dog catcher. And that's just simple and plain. You will not, if you get up and go to work every day, and if you have to get up and go to work every day, or you're doing whatever you have to do so you can survive every day, at that point, you, my friends, my ladies, gentlemen, haters, and bitter friends, you are going to have to vote and participate and put the best possible people who are going to speak to your issues in play. That's it. There's no other way to look at it. We can be polite and we can be kind and we can be cuddly, but until everybody in your family is a multimillionaire and everybody in that part of your family is a multimillionaire, then trust and believe you are going to have to participate via your civic duties, because you have, as you've seen over the last 52 years, you have people at the top, whether they're Republican and or Democrat. Because hey, this is the thing that you need to realize. A lot of people, hey man, I got a lot of friends on the other side of the aisle. Well, you know what? I don't have any friends who are racist, bigots, or who have discriminatory practices. I don't have any sexist friends. I don't have any friends with the isms. So if you have friends on the other side of the aisle, that means you have condoned some of their behavior. If you're going to condone their behavior, that means you're part of the problem. I was talking to somebody this weekend, and they made a point about a spiritual point of view. And silence is acquiescence. They didn't say those exact words, but that's exactly what they meant. And if you keep saying it's not, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And when you participate in the self-fulfilling prophecy, what happens? You kill all hope. There's a scientific fact that when you say can't, won't, and don't, your brain, the problem-solving portion of your brain literally shuts down and you won't be able to figure it out. Now, if you say will, could, and possibility, now your brain is functioning in its natural state. And when it's functioning in your natural state, you can come out of this thing and get things taken care of. Now, we have been, as the American populace and people who get up and work today, a lot of us have been programmed to say can't, won't, and it's impossible. Well, we get examples every day of the impossible happening. Now, a lot of people, well, you've also been taught, hey man, it's a 1 in a million chance. Well, guess what? It's this movie called Dumb and Dumber. And this lady said, and it was a joke, but it was the actual truth. And that's the way you need to live your life. She said, you got a 1 in a million chance to date me. And he said, so you're saying it's possible? That's the mentality you need to have. Look, will we rise up and take over the world and create some Wakanda or euphoric world? No. But as I stated last night on the forecast, it's a reason the American populace are not reminded of the 40s and the 30s and in the 70s. The reason you don't hear a lot about the 40s, 30s, and the 70s, those decades are decades when people of our descent were starting to definitely rise up. That's when we were exclusively using our dollar was staying in our community because it couldn't expand. We didn't have what we perceived as the privilege to go to places like Gimbel's and Dillard's and Macy's, and here in Chicago, Illinois, Marshall Fields, and things of that nature. We didn't have those privileges. We had to shop in Alleganza. We had to shop out of catalogs and things of that nature. And then we had to have people who made clothes in our community. My grandmother, the late great Dolores Pollard, she made all of my clothes up until the day she died. I didn't realize that Levi was a brand. I thought Levi was somebody's parents because my clothes said made by Dolores Pollard on my collar. So if we ever got back to that, and that's not far-fetched, because guess what? In the 80s, when I was coming of age, I was exactly my man D Gray from South Central Illinois, South Central Los Angeles. If you are watching and you're participating, I need you to subscribe to his channel as well. That's his channel right there. Please do so. And like I was saying, when I grew up in the 80s, I did my grocery shopping for me and my mother at Terry's. I didn't go to McDonald's. I didn't go to Burger King. We didn't go to White Castle's, Jack in the Box, Popeye's chicken, none of that stuff. We didn't go to those places. You know where we went? We went across the street to Jerry's, went down the street to Sammy's, went to Chester's Pizza, we went to Farmer Brown. Those were the restaurants in my neighborhood, and our money, about 14 to 16,000 people in my community, because I lived in a housing complex, and right outside of that housing complex was a housing project. And then we still had people a few blocks over. It was a 1 mile radius, 1 mile east, west, north, and south, a 1 square mile. And we all shop with Black people. So this isn't far-fetched. This is, oh, that was back in the day. If you consider the 80s back in the day, now I understand it was 40 years ago, but the 80s is not a long time ago. That is when I was a child. I have children who were my age when I lived in that area now. So understand, it's not far-fetched. We must kill all this foolish propagandized living that we're doing. We are living in a bubble. And what do I mean we're living in a bubble? My man, I got two people in my chat room right now that just spoke. These two guys right here. This guy and this guy. They are on both coasts. We need to have friends on both coasts and on both borders. I got people in Texas, family members and friends in Texas. I got friends in Houston and Dallas. I got friends in San Antonio, all over Texas. I got friends in Arizona. I got family in Arizona. I got family in Texas. I got family in California. I got friends and family on the East Coast. I got brothers on the East Coast, brothers on the West Coast, North and South. And I got family in every state across the South that I'm close with. And we need to recreate that. See, I'm personally feeling that we've fallen for this trap called discrimination. Discrimination is a construct. It is a social construct. What is a social construct? That means it's something that was created out of something called capitalism. You must have deceit and dissent when you participate in a capitalistic society. You hear people on television, I'm a capitalist. Well, you a fool. If you're a Black man, you a damn fool. Excuse me, because people know where I am right now. But if you're a Black man or a Black woman and you believe in capitalism, you are a damn fool. Why do I call you a damn fool? Because do I not want you to earn as much money as humanly possible? Only if you're going to share with your brothers, sisters, nieces, nephews, cousins, and neighbors. That's it. Socialism is the way. And it's this thing called scientific socialism that works even better. Do I want you to have a big, pretty house? Indeed. Do I want you to have your dream car? Indeed. But capitalism isn't the way. A lot of us are descended from people who were captured in this country and abroad and brought here and forced into labor, into free labor. That's what capitalism is. See, when you have a capitalistic system, you must have people on the bottom. It must have a caste system. It must have a middle, and it must have people at the top telling the people at the bottom what to do. See, these are the things that our great Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and our great brother, Minister Fred Hampton, minister of the Black Panther Party of Self-Defense, Fred Hampton. This is why they got bullets in their heads, because he's not talking about what I'm talking about right now. But this is what I'm trying to do for our community. They tried to galvanize the country, trying to galvanize our community. The reason I'm trying to galvanize our community because we're in jeopardy. See, you have to look at the world. Let's take this to a spiritual level. Look, a lot of people don't believe in the Bible. People don't believe in God. I got a relationship. No disrespect. One of my good people just said this. I got a relationship with God, but I don't deal with the church. But I'm not talking about church. I'm talking about you and God. Genesis. You ever thought about this, people? In Genesis, this thing separating the Black man and the Black woman started in Genesis. You had the negative person come in, talk to the wife, and separated her from her husband. And then they got back together, and then their kids were tainted because their minds were tainted. This is what's going on in capitalism. You got a bunch of rich, powerful people at the top promoting our sisters. These are the most educated women in the history of the world. And what do educated people do in the United States of America? We put ourselves above people. You should be like me. I got it out the mud. You need to get it out the mud as well. But guess what? All of us are not academics. So if we all are not academics, and some of us are artists, some of us are people who work with their hands. So how can I get it out the mud? Because we're not the same. We're snowflakes. So again, this is the way the capitalist system removes the man from the house. Just the man and the woman creates balance. What we have to do is this: recreate that balance. Do we get along with our significant others at all times? No. It's impossible. They're human beings just like you and I. The women that we deal with and the men that they deal with, we're all human beings and we're pulling on the side each end of the rope. But what we need to do is understand that we're gonna pull on this rope. The rope needs to create the foundation for our lives. Everybody in your wife's, girlfriend's, baby mama family is your family. And everybody in your family is theirs. And what we're going to do is create a foundation once again for these children to live on, just like your parents did, just like your grandparents did. All that spit getting spat on, stepping off the curb, work being sharecroppers. They did that so you could be comfortable there. Understand your history. That was the point of me bringing up that biblical reference. Understand your history. If you don't understand your history, then you will be led astray by these evil, wicked people that keep trying to tear the black man and the black woman apart. If the black woman is the most educated woman in the world, us black men, we need to start celebrating them. Oh man, these chicks, they be chicken head and they be arguing, they think they this and they think they that. Nah, all you got to do is be who you were made to be and lead. See, because you make a pile of money, because you have a whole lot of opportunities, does not make you a leader. It's a bunch of chumps that's at the top. And it's a bunch of men at the bottom. But you know what? What we gonna do is basically come together as men and start holding men accountable for their behaviors. If you see a man not taking care of his child simply because I don't like the woman, then what we need to do is ostracize that man and step up and take care of that child. Your sister got children, your cousin got children, your mother got children, your aunts have children, your neighbors have children. These children will affect your children. They will influence your children to do wrong. A lot of us have fallen victim to peer pressure. So what we're going to start doing, the good men of the black community, we're going to start stepping up and putting that same peer pressure for men to do what men are supposed to do on our friends. And we're not going to hoard information. If you are short in something and I'm tall at it, we're going to be the same height because I'm going to help you. This is the only way this community is going to survive. You have people attacking the Voters' Rights Act. You have less, I've said this every week for the last 4 months. You have less rights to vote than your parents have. Understand, you didn't even get the chance to vote at 18 into 72. Your parents didn't get a chance to legally vote without somebody pulling a gun on them until 1965, and everybody didn't get a chance to vote until 1964. So we're talking 60 years. 60 years. That's what we're talking about. So this is what I want you to understand. We must stop judging each other. We must start helping each other. We must start putting in the work instead of pointing the finger, wagging the finger, and saying what you're not. Look, when you hear somebody making a mistake, step to them. If they don't accept it, then that's on them. Say, hey man, I'm trying to help. Don't ridicule, criticize, or belittle another man because that is a human being. We're not even talking gender. We're going to talk. I'm speaking as a man to a man, but we're not talking gender. We're talking about human beings in regards to respect. But these people who are trying to run the world, they continue to hurt you. We keep falling for the banana in the tailpipe. It's a bunch of black men starting to listen to Trump because the Democrats didn't do anything. Yeah, what? All you need to do when you hear your former Democratic friends say, hey, Republicans could do this, well, ask them, well, what the Affordable Care Act? That's what Obama approved. Well, that's for everybody. You're right. Again, I'm regurgitating things that I said last week, but the Affordable Care Act is for America. But who in America suffers from diabetes the most? We do. It's autism month. Our children are suffering from this because we're in denial because our children need this help and we're not stepping up and giving it to them. That helps also affordable care. Who suffers from ulcers? Who suffers from high blood pressure? Who suffers from depression? The black community. So when he approved that, is it any way, shape, form, or fashion, any way possible that he did that to uplift us without saying that's for them? Stop looking for reasons not to like a black person and start looking for reasons to. Do I agree with everything with Barack Hussein deported more people than any president in the history of the world, dropped more bombs on on more foreign countries than anybody in the history of the world? No, I don't. I just named two things I don't like about him. But what I do like about him is the fact that his wife and him used the system and tricked the system into helping you. A bunch of black, there's a bunch of people going hungry every night. Yeah. So what did they do? They put more nutritious food in the schools. And what did Michelle Obama? I'm just gonna do exercising, and they made eating good cool. So when they slid those food programs into those impoverished schools, so children could get quality meals and not hot crunchy corn chips and things of that nature. Guess what? You thought it was for everybody, but it was so we can have a balanced diet. Again, are these people saints? Are these people Christian? Do we need to be praising them? No, but what we need to do is realize that we live in a racist country with a racist system that's doing everything they can to destroy everybody that looks like me and you. So anybody who can help, what we need to do is keep those people in play who are helping, even in the the most minute fashion. We need to make sure those people in play until we galvanize our communities and get our children into political science degrees. No more social work degrees. No more of that. No more of that. See, because if you have people in poli sci, they understand governmental control. They understand governmental control. They'll be able to put people in play, much like the man in Baltimore. Understand that ever since Barack Hussein Obama was in office, hate groups have multiplied. You have people coming up, they can't say that magic N word anymore. So you know what they say? They say, what's the last election? It was CRT, critical race theory. Critical race theory, for all intents and purposes, is something that 99.9% of the people in this country will not take. You know why you won't take that class? Because that is a law school class. Most of us won't qualify for law school. Most of us don't even go to college. So how in the entire hell can you tell me that critical race theory is being put in our schools? Ignorance stacked upon ignorance, stacked upon ignorance, and then filtered with stupidity. Critical race theory was the call on the last election. This one is DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion. The mayor in Baltimore, young 38-year-old brother, God bless you. Continue to bless and continue to touch him. I'm praying for the young brother. He is in Baltimore. He is a diversity, equity, inclusion hire. First and foremost, you fools who said that. The racist, bigoted, discriminatory people that plant these foolish thoughts in people's heads. That is not a hire. You do not hire a mayor. A black city elected a black man, and a black state, a black city, those same black people that elected that black man put a black man in the gubernatorial office as well. Understand the power. So when you have people like the governor of Maryland, and you have people like the mayor of the most powerful city in Maryland, Baltimore, as mayor, do you understand the power that we will? Now, all we need to do is have two people who have working class people and black people, first and foremost, on their mind in the Senate, and have them control the state house. And then guess what? That state won't be participating in the discriminatory practices that the states like Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, Arizona, Texas, and other race baiting states, South Carolina, and other race baiting states in the United States of America. They're not going to let us run things. We don't have to run things. We need to be able to build a wall around each community in this country. Now, sisters, we understand that you're some of the biggest, boldest, brightest, and powerful people in the world. You know why y'all so powerful? Because what we do is subjugate ourselves, not in a bad way. We stand down. We let women run it. If you want to, run it. I'm tired anyway. I'm out here fighting the system. I'm out here fighting these cops. I'm out here fighting these sucker dudes. I'm out here fighting these racists. So if you want to run it, keep running it. I'm going to support you. All I'm asking you is this. Your critical, demeaning, and condescending tone must go. Brothers, y'all too. We ain't going to beat this issue. The name of the game is respect. The name of the game is creating a fortress around our communities and families so we can excel and be the best people we can be. Otherwise, we are going to die. We are going to die. They just approved fake chicken to be put out in restaurants in the state of California. Think that's good for you? How can you get nutrition from fake anything? You think you're gonna get some nutrition from a fake fruit, a fake apple? No, no, no. You think you're gonna get nutrition? We really don't even supposed to be eating animals. But if you're gonna eat an animal, you need to eat one that you've seen walking back and forth. Look, man, the women of this community, y'all take care of us, y'all care for us, y'all nurture our children. You are the first and more than likely the last teacher, because it ain't a whole lot of men being teachers in the Black community anymore. So you are the first teacher because you're the first person that child gonna see, and you're the last teacher because when he steps into adulthood, I don't know a man living, dead, or ever walked this earth that won't call for his mama when it's bad. I don't care if he's a trillionaire. When it gets stressful, I'm going to my mama's house. So look, I'm not going to demean any Black women, but what I'm going to ask the sisters to do to understand is the system working against us. So you can be raising a child and you cannot raise a child by yourself. The most worthless, shiftless dude in the world, if he loves his child, will jump in front of a bus and stop that bus to make sure that child lives. We're going to have to figure out a way to get along. We don't have to like each other. We don't even have to hang out. But when we see each other, we must treat each other with the utmost respect. We love it that you sisters are doctors, lawyers, CEOs, CPAs, nurses, and every other thing that's important in our community. But do not allow the people who are in charge of this country to deter you from being the best person, the best mother, sister, aunt, niece, or neighbor that you can be. This is the plan to separate us. And as long as they allow to separate us, we will be defeated in this country. Stop telling people to, hey, just have an open mind to racists. Ain't no more open mind to racists. Racists don't deserve our excellence. They have nothing for us. They don't like us. I don't care how many cool friends outside of this culture you have. I'm not talking about individuals. I'm talking about a system that has been placed and put in effect to destroy you, to destroy me, destroy our family. And then what they do is they get us. They follow the blueprint of racism that has been in play for literally hundreds of years. Literally. I'm not talking about figuratively. I'm not speaking about metaphorically. This is the truth. This is the honest to God truth. If they keep me away from this Black woman, that Black woman away from me, guess what? Our children will grow up fractured. There's certain things your daughter, I've been saying this for a minimum of 25 years, a minimum of 25 years. You need your son. Your son needs his mother so she can be a gentleman. He needs his dad so he can be a man. Your daughter needs your mother to grow up and be a woman. You need your dad to be a lady. And if we continue this foolish public bickering, we're going to kill our children. We don't need these over emotional dudes. We need dudes who can identify when I'm weak. My child my child's mother can raise my child, and I can raise when she's down. That's the code. You don't have to live in the same house to be a parent, but it must be a tandem bike situation, because the bike must pedal these kids to the end of the race. We are living off the blood, sweat, and tears of our children, our grandmothers, our great grandmothers. It is people who have literally died so you can continue to create families, not friends, not I'm trying to do. No, it is a family situation, whether you in the house, outside the house, outgrown the house. Look, the goal is for the community to be safe. We always hear about, see, in other communities, it's like this. You know why it's like that in other communities? Because they have a foundation. And it's not a I'm not talking about the foundation that makes people treat women like trash or tools or something that can be discarded and disrespected on a regular basis. No, I'm talking about the communities. Like I hear a lot of my people talk about the Latino community. See, we need to be like the Latino community. We need to be like the Jewish community. See, they got their act together. They're gonna do this. You know what the funny thing is about that? When you talk about those communities, they have a foundation. You know, first and foremost, they have a God. They have rules and regulations they follow with their God that they created. Then they have a diet. Why is that important? They have a diet because the diet, and I'm gonna get on this diet thing in the second half of the show. The diet thing allows them to ingest the right and proper nutrients so your brain will function properly. And then they have their own businesses. Why is that important? Because guess what? Everybody has some deviants in their community. The Asian communities has deviants. They have an Asian mafia. I'm a criminal justice major. I remember studying these things. Two of the largest mafias in the world are Russian mafias and the Asian mafia. So they have that going on. They have businesses. So when people say, "Hey, I'm going to the life of crime," and that fails, I can hire Fred's son because I understand that, hey, every once in a while, people are going to stray off the beaten path and they need a second opportunity. You know why black unemployment is at anything? Because we refuse to continue. We'll build up a business and then we'll get $400 million. Well, I got $400 million. No, that's why I built up my business. No, you build up your business so your community can survive. Last week, I showed you a brother by the name of Dr. Claude Anderson. He mentioned that black people eat more fish than any other community in America. Guess what else we eat more than anybody? Hot sauce. Because we put hot sauce on fish. So why are we not mass producing hot sauce? Because y'all keep telling me that we the greatest cooks in the world. We made dookie. We around here eating dookie and putting hot sauce on and say, hey, it's chitlins and it's good. Chitlins is dookie, man. I'm dead serious. I can't use profanity on here, but that's what it is, man. That's what it is. It's the guts of a pig, man. We turned it into a delicacy. And guess what? The Puerto Ricans call it tripe. So they just like us. They out here eating dookie too. But guess what? We need to be making hot sauce. We need to be making barbecue sauce. Salute to my man, Tip 24, Kevin Foots. He got his own barbecue sauce. The stuff that we dominate in the world, that's what we need to be selling. We don't need to be you don't need the dopest gym shoes no more. We need, guess what? They're black owned gym shoe companies. Do y'all understand? Do you really understand if we just start shopping exclusively with our own people, how much money we control? Cause other community, how do you think the Jewish community, they are just as engulfed in entertainment as the black community. Difference in the Jewish community and the black community, those Jewish people over there owning Hollywood, and we out here asking to work at Hollywood. We asking to work at Hollywood when we got a whole African movement. The second largest film industry in the world is in Africa. How many of y'all knew that? Not if any, not many. And then you got Tyler Perry, you got 50 Cent, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. Because I'm not calling dude 50 Cent. He almost 50 years old. He Curtis Jackson, man. Just like Urban Johnson's not matching no more. We ain't no more nicknames, man. We grown men. No more of that. And why are we begging? See, because we keep trying to fit into a system that rejects us. Yeah, the system works, but guess what? Penicillin works on a lot of people, and it'll kill just as many. So everything ain't for everybody. And guess what? If you want to be an athlete, how about this? Why ain't nobody teaching their children how to be coaches? Why ain't nobody teaching their children how to be physical therapists? Why ain't nobody teaching their kids how to be shooting coaches? Peyton Manning and Eli Manning has a quarterback camp for these young, rich white boys, for the last 20 some odd years. Why ain't Warren Moon, Michael Vick, and Donovan McNabb, why they ain't got no camp? Why Emmitt Smith, Marshall Faulk, and Jerome Bettis, why ain't they got a running back camp to teach these kids how to run and catch and block at the same time? Why ain't we utilizing the things that we have? Where's the Nolan Richardson, Doc Rivers, Nate McMillan coaching camps so you can teach these kids how to be men. That way you have men around other young black men, because contrary to popular belief, these people don't even want us coaching the team. Oh, you think it's cool, you think it's sweet to be Michael Jordan. How many of y'all gonna grow to be 6'6" 6 inches tall? But it's a lot of y'all that know every team in the league and everybody who ever played for that team, and you know every championship ever won. And guess what? We don't own none of these teams. We don't even coach on these teams, and we don't even run none of these teams. So look, man, start teaching your children how to be leaders. This is why the woman needs to be there and the man needs to be there. You may not, again, both of you may not be academically astute, or you might be on the Huxtables. And that's cool. But some people be Martin Gina, college educated dude who making it on his own. Either way, it's cool. Either way, it's cool. But we must stop this. Back to the point I was making. Asian people, they are making their own noodles. They're making their own soy sauce, and they have their own restaurants. You go to Chinatown in Chicago. I don't know if it's Chinatown in your town, but you go to Chinatown in Chicago, you look up on the board, those foods are not even in English, because they have a society of their own and they're maintaining their own economy, and they got herbal places in there, because I go get my herbs and vitamins from them. Sorry. I also go to the black spot here in Chicago, and they getting their herbs from each other. They getting their food from each other. They getting their health care from each other. Look, if everybody in your community got high blood pressure, why ain't you telling your child to become a doctor so you can do things to help them? And that amlodipine that they giving you, let me look this up. I got it in my phone. That amlodipine that people giving you ain't even really good for black people. Here's a medicine for high blood pressure that's good for black people. I wrote it down. I knew I was gonna need this at some point. I think I sent it to my man. I think I sent it to Mo. This is good for black people, and we sitting up taking medicine that's good for other people. But then when you do that, they tell you, "Oh man, you being racist, man. You can't just be talking about for black people." I find it. I should text my man now, have him send it to me. But this is what we need to be understanding. You know how you can get your blood pressure down eating cucumbers, eating beets, eating more fruit, drinking a lot of water, eating celery. That's how you can naturally get your blood pressure down. I get off blood pressure medication using those things, walking, talking, ginger, natural ginger. You can buy a boatload of ginger for like $20. But we're not being, this is what our people in the South knew. This is what our family was sharing. And we stopped doing that because we started trying to move up, move on up. And that's not the move. We can continue to pretend that we in this a meritocracy, what merit will get you to the top, and that's just not the case. It is not the case. I don't care what you say. Look, if we don't start rebuilding this community, we are dead. We need to have a foundation, which is family, man and woman together. Family. If you separate, you're still family. Sorry. You can hate her. You lay down with her, but you need to tolerate him or her. Sorry. That's just the way it works. Then you got the diet. Then you got the diet so you can stay healthy, keep your mind straight. Talk about that in a second. And then you have set standards and practices in your community. Why is it in Chicago? And I'm telling you, I ain't even been over there in a while. No matter where you are on the west side, it ain't no garbage cans. So it's trash all in the streets. It looked like a garbage can, like we living in a trash can. Like I'm at Oscar's house or someplace. Why are we living like that on the west side of Chicago? It is not cool. But guess what? You can start making phone calls and get garbage cans put out there. So those are standards. So now it ain't no trash. So when you start having the lack of trash will create pride. When you create pride, you'll start protecting everything around. You start protecting around you. The violence goes down. The violence goes down. Business, you can create a business. You create the business. Now you got employment. Now you got family, pride, standards, money. And guess what? Now you could get that big fancy house. Look at, I want you guys to understand this. This is what I want you to understand. The average corner store in the United States of America make about $2,200 a day. Every month got 28 days in it, but let's just go with the 5 days a week. That's 20 days. Now you got $2,200 times what is it? $2,200 times what is 22 times 20? 22 times 20. I ain't a genius, but 22 times 20 is 440. Throw the 3 zeros on the end. That's $440,000. 2,200 times 20. Understand, a grocery store, a corner store in your neighborhood. You're selling cigarettes. You're selling cigars. You're selling bongs. In my neighborhood, you're selling the erectile dysfunction joints. You're selling T-shirts in there. You're selling potato chips, sodas, milk, cookies, and all that foolishness. And that money is walking right out of your community. Tax money is walking out of your community. So guess what? Now the unemployment is done. Now you got generational money, because when your cousin Craig gets out of jail and he's been a criminal his whole life, and he's 44 years old, you're trying to finally turn his life around, you can put him in your grocery store. He might be the smartest person in your family. Oh, he's stupid because he keep going to jail. Nah, he just understands that that might not be the way for me. But if you put him in a situation where he can excel because he's in a family business or a communal business, he'll take pride in that. That pride thing is important, people. That pride thing is important. See how easy it is to build the community, and then you vote people in because, how about this? Your state representative. Do you know who he is? Your state representative. Whatever district you live in America, your state representative. This was told to me by a retired state representative here in Chicago. He was active when he told. The state representative told me it is part of his job to find money, governmental money, for businesses that are being started in your community. So if you come up with a business plan and bring it to your state representative, it's his job to get you the bread to open it. And did I say lend it to you? No, it's a grant. I've seen a $50,000 check handed to a friend. Literally, this is why you tune in, so you can get this information. It is almost impossible. It is almost impossible to lose like this. That's 44,000. I made a mistake. I said 440,000. That's 44,000. Hey, I'm human. 44,000 a month. How many of y'all making $44,000 a month? You're not. If any, not many. So this is what I'm trying to get you to understand. You create these standards, you create these practices, you create these, live through this through a ritualistic situation. How about this? Most of our churches are not 501c3 churches. So you start going to church and you're paying your tithes, and then we're helping the community. And as you help the community, these politicians are going to come to your church, and you hold their feet to the fire, because guess what? You a business. You got 10, 11 business owners in that church. You got maybe 100 taxpayers in that church. And you got 100 registered voters in that church. So you're going to do what we said, or we're going to have a problem, sir, ma'am. This is how you get things in control. If you don't do it this way, you will fall victim to these racist morons that are in DC, not telling lies and propagandize foolishness. I'm just letting you know, man. Now, I've been talking a long time. I've been talking actually 46 minutes. Well, I set the record on that one. Well, how you guys watch this video about the movie I want you to watch. This is a movie that is from 2019. This is a movie. No, it's not. It's a movie from 2024. It is a fun movie, and it's a true movie. But this is exactly what I've been talking about for the last 46 minutes and 30 seconds. I want y'all to tune in and see this. It's on Netflix. Check it out. It's your man H-Rap. I'll be back. Un momento, por favor.
How much did we make today?
5 million.
How much did we lose today?
$1 billion.
You got rich dudes pissing in their pants right now.
Holy fucking shit.
I will tell you, I've never seen anything like it.
Holy fucking shit.
Is the craziest I think I've ever seen.
Everything okay?
$11 fucking million. What are you gonna do? Get a Ferrari? What the fuck?
Oh, language. The baby's here. Yo, what up, everybody? Roy and Kitty here. I'm gonna pick a stock and talk about why I think it's interesting, and that stock is GameStop.
I love this guy.
Retail traders have hooked into GameStop. I think they think it's a good investment. It looks like there's one guy driving all the buying.
Who is this?
Dumb money, man.
Happy to take it.
Wall Street is betting that this company is going to fail. If it fails, these hedge fund assholes make a shit ton of money. 70,000 people have watched this video.
Sorry, Kitty, I love you!
If he's in, I'm in.
If he's in, I'm in.
GameStop, those shares not stopping.
The stock is only going to go up. When they hit, I'm going to buy you a mansion.
Let's drink to that.
My brother is a fucking nerd.
Wall Street must be seeing this, right?
Holy fucking shit.
Holy shit!
You should probably dial in.
Holy fucking shit. Do you have a minute?
Babe, how much did we make today?
5 million?
How much did we lose today?
$1 billion.
And yesterday?
4 million?
And yesterday?
$1 billion.
Yeah.
We're like really fucking rich.
You got rich dudes pissing in their pants right now. They're coming after you.
We need to talk about the GameStop situation. Retail traders
Always lose.
You've been served.
Wall Street cheated. Surprise, surprise.
You have to testify before Congress. The game has changed.
What's the point of winning the race if you let some dipshit steal the prize?
A lot of people feel the system is broken. The whole idea of the stock market is if you're smart and maybe with a little luck you can make your fortune. Certainly not anymore. There's no hope for the little guy.
Shitballs.
Maybe now there is.
Fuck yeah.
This is HYB Into the Bench Media. This is a program called Build and Destroy. Share, like, tell a friend to tune in. Thank you. Okay, you saw that. That clip was suggested to me by a brother of mine, and when I realized what I was talking about, that seemed to be the perfect situation. You notice how these people who are working class individuals saw a flaw in the situation, flaw in the system, a chink in the armor, and they attacked that chink, and a lot of them got filthy rich. Guess what? We can do the same. I told that same brother, we blew it once. Me and him and a few hundred other people, we blew it before. Me and him are working together to never blow it again. We are working together now to never blow it again. I have made a ton of money in the stock market before, and I will continue to do so. But I'm just in a situation now to whereas I'm trying to galvanize my community and put us in the best possible situation so we can win. I don't want to be a king. I want to be one of the members. I want to be a duke. I want to be a knight. Part of the system, part of the hierarchy. Dude getting as much money as he can, but I don't want to spend it on my own. You know, that's the man, what's his name? Omar from The Wire said, money don't have no owners, they just have spenders. I want to be a big time spender. With that being said, I'm just letting you know, it's not impossible. It's only impossible. It's impossible to knock you out like this. It's impossible for me to have my hand like this and knock you out and try to punch you like this. But if I do this, it's a very good chance I can knock you off your feet. And that's what we need to do in regards to this poverty. The United States federal government is going to do everything they can to not allow us to create that fist. What it's your job to do is to make sure we create that fist. Because once the fist is created, everybody will get scared because they know this brown skin and this brown ingenuity and this brown history will help you will force you into the greatness that the creator of the universe set out to have you be. With that being said, as I close this out, I got this segment that I'm creating. And that's what it is now. It's called a lot less of this and a little more of that. I am a podcaster. You are currently watching the best podcast in the history of the world, Enter the Bench Media, hosted by yours truly, H-Rap-B. I have a few hundred episodes. I have interviews with people. I have sports shows. I have this program, and I have shows with my brother. Even with my son. All of my programs are original. It seems that people have taken this term content creator and took a raging dump on it. A content creator, brothers and sisters, is not watching H-Rap show and say, man, why H-Rap wear that same shirt every week? And then your whole podcast is H-Rap wear that End of the Bench t-shirt every week. I remember, and then do another episode. I remember he used to wear dashiki something. And then do another episode. Well, you know what? Let's see what he's going to talk about this week, and then we're going to critique it. You're not creating anything. That's being lazy. See, and then another thing. Stop it with the nonsense in social media. A lot less of that. A lot less of stealing people's content and creating content based on other people's lives. That's not creative at all. That's just what we used to call in the 80s. That's biting. We need to stop that. Because what you are is you're not a content creator, you're a chaos creator. You have people like Shannon Sharp talking about, oh man, that's what's wrong with our people. When we get on top, we always hate on each other. First and foremost, Shannon, no one is hating on you. That they're making fun of you because you're a 6'2", 260-pound black man with some skin tight clothes on. Look, I understand. I'm fat. I'm relatively fashion forward, Mr. Sharp. But what I am is not dumb enough to be a 250-pound man and wear tight clothes. So when you do that, you're going to have people like Corey Holcomb and Mike Epps make fun of you. The difference is, Shannon, you went from being famous to being a celebrity. You were sports famous, which means about 30% of the population knew exactly who you were because we watched you play, we watched you on CBS, we watched you with Skip, and we thought, hey man, you a cool guy. But once Cat Williams came out and made 62 million people pay attention to you, now you'll be critiqued like Beyonce, like Jay-Z, like Nas, like Puff Daddy, like Eddie Murphy, and millions of other people. So no, people don't wait on you to blow up, to talk about you. They didn't know who you were. You were an athlete who was popular, and now you're a celebrity. Kanye made a song. Cat Williams made you a celebrity overnight. But back to the point at hand, we must stop this chaos. Everybody and their mama has a Puff Daddy video right now. Funny thing is, our brother Sean Combs has not been arrested. Know what's something else funny? He is alleged to be human trafficking. That means he's taking human beings and forcing them into sexual situations. You know what a lot of these people are talking about? His sexuality. Oh, he may be LGBTQ. He may be gay. So hold on. It's not bad that he was forcing young girls and potentially grown women into compromising situations and forcing themselves and essaying men and women allegedly. But if he's gay, he's trash. Look at what you're talking about, people. That's just asinine. We really need to grow up on that. Cash is king in a capitalistic society until you become capital. Your ancestors at one point, a lot of our ancestors were capital. You have oppression in every place that people look like us. There are white people who have oppressed us to no end. They've stripped us of our original language. They made us believe this dark skin, the number one selling product in the world, skin bleaching products. Why ain't nobody talking about that? Why ain't nobody talking about Haiti? Why ain't no podcasts? Why ain't a million podcasts talking about Haiti? Because see, they've made you believe that they're separate from us. No, they're not. Because if you would allow them to do something bad to the people who you think are up under you, what happened when those people are no longer here? Then they move up to you. You be you be the new N-words. You don't believe me? September 11th, 2001, me and my late cousin Vincent Lamont Williams watched those towers go down. We were sitting in his front room on his couch and we looked at each other and said, Look like they the new niggas. So you got some new niggas up under you, and you're gonna allow people to step on them the way they stepped on your ancestors. You're the fool. We need to get away from this thing. Money is not king. Culture is king, because culture creates money. Culture allows you to be creative. And when you're creative, people will come and pay money for it. Ask me. I make a piece of change off this. People like what I'm saying. I've done 2 interviews the last 2 weeks. They've done very well. So look, if you're creative and you create your own lane, that's cool. But to capitalize off other people's pain and off lies and things of that nature. For example, it was rumored that Sean Puff Daddy Combs sold his portion of Revolt after this bad news came about. It was even put in Black Enterprise magazine. They supposed to be the Bible of business in Black America. They didn't even mention the fact that Sean Combs started trying to sell those shares last year this time. He's waiting for the best money. See, but they got you believing he's running scared. What is he running scared for? Did anybody ever tell you that Russell Simmons took 27 lie detector tests and passed them all? No, because they're not doing podcasts about that. They're not doing social media about that. What we need to do is become a more well-rounded community and stop focusing on the negative that the people who are in power put us in front of. You ever notice that you got people like my brother Tariq Nasheed, my brother Ice Cube, my brother Corey Holcomb, and other people that tell you, man, them Democrat people like Dr. Boyce Watkins, them Democrats ain't no good. What's the alternative? Anybody offering an alternative? No, they're not. They're fear-mongering you. Why don't nobody ever tell you what the Republican Party is going to do? They just tell you the dissatisfaction you have with the Democratic Party. Am I caping for the Democrats? If you've ever listened to this program, you know I'm not. But what I want you to understand is this. Stop taking half-ass information and feeding it to your friends. Look, social media, mainstream media are the same thing. They just showed you that Vladimir Putin used to put racist stuff on your timeline so you will see it. You see racist videos. Why is it that I watch Country Wayne videos faithfully? I hit like on every one of them. Sometimes they'll put another Country Wayne video. I just watch it. I like it and watch it. But if I hit anything about gangs or drugs, my timeline is flooded. I never like it, but my timeline is flooded. This lets you know it is something watching you and taking your viewing eyes for granted. And if you like one fight, you'll get nothing but fights. And then what does that mean? Oh, that's all we doing. No, that's not all we doing. Why don't you try liking one of them stories where a 15-year-old get 144 scholarship offers? You don't see that anymore. People, get off Twitter, get off Facebook, get off Instagram, get off TikTok, and start reading the Financial Times. Because you know how you want to read the Financial Times? Because the Financial Times is about the bread. And if you know where the bread going, you know where the nonsense is coming from. This is what we have to start doing, Black people. I want us to get our act in order. It is time. It is no more time for the foolishness and the madness. We are on a road to self-destruction. I'm just telling you, man. People like Dr. King, what I want you to do, this wasn't even part of my diatribe today. What I want you to do is this. I want you to go to YouTube and look up the April 3rd, 1969 speech of one Dr. Martin Luther King. 1969, April 3rd, 1969. It's almost 55 years. The reason I know is my dad died. Him and my dad died on April 4th. 69 and 70, back-to-back years. What I want you to do is look at that whole speech. There's some speeches out here that if you heard, you wouldn't even recognize one Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. We need to start studying where we come from, what we're about, so we'll know where we're going. It is impossible for you to denigrate yourself when you realize how powerful your grandparents was, your grandmother, your grandfather. Your grandmother, think about the stress that your grandmother had, wondering if your grandfather was going to make it home tonight. Think about the stress that your grandfather had, wondering if your grandmother would be there when he got home, and if any of your parents or any of them will be hurt. And we are sitting around laughing at our pain. No, it's not funny. It's not more time for the foolishness. It's time for us to get our act together. With that being said, I want to salute the people who I get encouragement from. That is Talib Kweli, that is Sway Calloway, Roland Martin, Al Sharpton, Clay Kane, Heather B, Laurie Daniel Favors, Greg, Dr. Greg Carr, and Professor Karen Hunter. I want to thank each and every one of you for hitting that like, tuning in, hitting that share, tell a friend to tune in. I am H-Rap B. This is the End of the Bench Media. And guess what? Y'all already know it's time for Big Mo to take us out. 2 fingers, 1 word, I'm out.
We lust for that cheese, we lose sleep, dreams of that cream. We killing our teens, they dying for this American dream. Them government schemes, they turning us to hustlers and fiends. We hustling trees, them politicians smuggling green. Chasing that cheese, got everybody stressed in the streets. Pardon me for speaking freely, let it breathe. Evangelists preach the congregations out of their seats. They writing them checks for ties, now it's people can't eat. She stripping for change for school, now she giving them brain. She used to that loot, she earning, now she giving them strain. He new to this game, but hungry, so he cooking his cane. He getting that paper, but then they gave him 2 to the brain. It's rules to this game, but hustlers never hustle for fame. The spirit of greed is grimy, so we struggle to change. They put us in chains to take away our African names. But if we submissive and don't resist, then who do we blame? It's all a game, man. These Europeans thinking they claim, and you a victim of their game plan. You thinking they ain't, you thinking they saints. Remember all them niggas they hang? Killed our women and our children, all our leaders are slain. They gave us Obama, but that nigga was hoping for change. But Zimmerman is killing niggas and he free. Shit is crazy, babies having these babies and getting checked. But keep the child from they pop to rip his heart out his chest. Our rappers was leaders and now they in the booth in the dress. Spitting bullshit and making more but giving us less. They taking our sound and changing ours, dumbing it down. They taking our jobs and homes and they shutting us out. They taking our kids because it ain't a man in the house. They locking us down, but soon they gon' be wiping us out. They told our women they was too independent to need a man. They told our brother he was too insignificant to advance. It's all a game, man. These Europeans staking they claim. And you a victim of their game plan. You thinking they ain't, you thinking they saints. Remember all them niggas they hang? Killed our women and our children, all our leaders is slain. It's all a game.